And I really wish I had Gary Stu's amazing sickness recovery powers, because I wish that I'd be able to recover from a cold with one night. All these colds lately have generally taken me 2 nights. Yeah, that's really, really annoying. Oh, hi there, girl that we went out with yesterday. Oh, is she? Yeah. How's she going? No, that makes total sense. Well, it's good to have her back, but she really should take all the time off that she needs. I mean, she's been going through a lot. And so, who's going to come up to us lunchtime? Oh, hi, baby. We actually are... Yes, I'm pretty sure we are seeing him today. I guess we are going to come today. Yes, he literally can't, because progress on the link only happens when you... Progress on that plot, I mean, it only happens when you actually do the link. It's actually kind of interesting, though, that we don't max out Bear quite yet, because there's something that won't actually happen if you max him out before now. Or, well, if you were to max him out now, in fact. I said a while back, when I first introduced his social link, that... Well, yeah, it'll all make sense once we get to the school trip. Actually, it may not make sense there, but it will mostly make sense once we... It's Port Island Station. Mostly makes sense once we actually get to rank 10. So apparently Did I accept the please find the missing person request? I'm pretty sure that I did, yeah. Just temporarily slipped my mind. Yeah, there we go. So apparently the missing person is around here. I think they're near the vending machine. No, is it them or not? Oh, it must be, because, yeah, Cielo missed. Apparently you need 20 of them for this. Yeah, 20. Huh. Have we discovered a cure for apathy syndrome? Although 20 Cielo miss is a little bit excessive, but... we could be onto something here. I wonder if I should... You know, while I'm out, I should probably immediately turn that one in just to get it out of the request list. So yeah, that's a pretty weird request. I have talked to that person earlier on, and they don't say anything about drinks or Cielo miss at all, so... It is a bit of a guide thing, although maybe they only do if you've accepted the please find the missing person request. I had a feeling it was that girl who was near the vending machines, but I'm not sure if anything in the game hints that you need 20 Cielo mists. It's such a weird request. Yes. Well, that's kind of ironic, considering that the protagonist of the next game actually actually did become an amateur detective. Well, yes, if the actual Sherlock Holmes ever used... Well, I mean, I think he did use a pipe, but he definitely never wore a deerskin cap. It's one of those cases where the popular image that, basically the... Oh, now I need to register Siegfried because I just, did that punching bag. The supposedly iconic image of the character is one that actually never existed because he never actually wore a deerskin... Except, though... Shows like the modern Sherlock are helping dispel a lot of the misconceptions about Sherlock Holmes, so it seems that these days people generally don't make the misconception as much. Didn't just start with that though, as good as the modern Sherlock is, I also always thought that as much of a bad rap as it got because the trailers kind of turned people off and made people think that it was not going to be accurate and was going to be a generic action film, but I actually thought the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes films were actually pretty decent. But yeah, it's another one of those cases where... Well, not another one of those cases, but basically, the trailers totally misled people and made them think that it was something that, yeah. A lot of people only knew Sherlock Holmes based on the more inaccurate depictions and didn't realize that in the original books, he actually did quite a bit of fighting. And in general, acted a lot more like he did in those films than, again, most people thought. But like I said, the TV series Sherlock is dispelling a lot of that, and this is so weird. I'm discussing Sherlock Holmes adaptations in a Persona video. You know, I just realized, speaking of that, I'm not sure if anyone ever makes any Holmes references in 4, despite that game being all about detective work. Okay, yeah, so unfortunately I'm kind of downsizing on the matching Persona here, but we are actually kind of strapped for money at this point. Well, more like everything is getting insanely expensive, as far as the compendium goes. So now I think about it, I'm sure there are some Sherlock references with Naoto. Some of their link, some of their interactions in the arena games. So once again, more working on the kimono. So, request a reward, wow, Jerkish. Ask about his country is actually the best thing here. I almost literally predicted exactly that. Yeah, so most of this is pretty much the same as it's always been. But that gets us up to rank 9, so another link almost maxed out. And tomorrow we'll actually be doing another rank 9 link. We definitely make more progress on social links between the last full moon and, I would say, the next one, but there actually aren't anymore. Because before we only maxed, well, we only maxed Emperor, but we also maxed Tower, because that can kind of happen at any time. This time, we maxed quite a few of them.
Greetings.
And yeah, we literally only needed Nigi Mitama for that, so I wasn't going to splurge on a more expensive Persona. Okay. That does kind of make sense, but... Still, it was really out of her control. Yeah. Yes, all this concern that Akihiko has about Mitsuru is really making me want to ship them. Yeah, and they drove him to some very dark things, but thankfully he's over that now. Oh, and you're saying the same thing. And you're saying the same thing. And you're saying the same thing. Okay, so nothing really new, but what happens if we check on Mitsuru's room? I forget which one exactly is her room. Just realized while I'm here I might want to check the recordings. I don't think there's a new recording now. Oh, I got it first try. Okay, then. And that's really all you see. So, yeah, nothing much. Even though she's technically back, she's not quite up to going back into Tartarus at this point, I think. Okay, no new recordings. Right. So, yeah, not much to do tonight, then. And again, while I could go to the arcade, I don't want to... Well, I keep saying that I don't want to break the game too much, and then I spam Vorpal Blade all the time. I seriously forgot how good Vorpal Blade was. I thought that it was single targeting. So, that's basically what happened. I didn't realize that it hit all enemies. And that was kind of, I mean, it's practically this game's equivalent of, oh, hey, the Taka thing. It's practically this game's equivalent of Huss or Toby. Not quite as ridiculous as Huss or Toby. 7 mega proteins. Akihiko will certainly be happy. But, yes, I'm sure that when I get around to Persona 4, I'll make an exception for, broken things when it comes to Huss or Toby, because that thing is very, very fun. It's one of the most broken skills that, not only in the Persona series, but in any RPG I've ever seen, but it's still pretty fun to do. Oh no, they're going on about this again. Yarusu's like, that's not fair, I called dibs on every girl in his school, what is he doing? Oh, and it's the 11th of the 11th, which I'm pretty sure is some kind of War Remembrance Day in Australia. I mean, we directly celebrated it back at school, and it's been a while since I've been in school, so it's been a while since but I'm pretty sure it is. Unfortunately, we're not actually going to be seeing Debe today. We're going to be seeing, like I said, another social link that will be reaching rank 9. One that does reach rank 9 today is actually kind of interesting in the way that it unfolds. There's one really big choice that matters, and the rest of it is all just you can say anything. Well, Roji's not here, and Yukari's available, but we're not actually going to be seeing her. Wait, I just realized something. So Yuko... I just realized something. I think Yukari doesn't have anyone to get jealous of at this point in the game, because Yuko just maxed out, and we haven't started Mitsuru or Aikas yet, so at this point, yeah, Yukari actually doesn't have anyone to get jealous of. So let me quickly check, and yes, this is in fact Fortune, which is why I also got Fortuna, and I can safely get rid of both this and Nigimi's armor after this, because I only ever needed these for one day. Yeah, there's something going on with Keisuke. The one club room that we actually didn't go to with Elizabeth. So I guess it's a good thing that I picked this club. I mainly choose this club because I feel like it fits with Fuka better than the other two. Something's definitely going on here. Wait a minute, is this even allowed? Oh, then again, we do have max courage, so I guess skipping classes. Yeah, pretty much gonna be, well, not okay, but we can do it. Alright, I just realized that club happens after school anyway, so it's probably fine. Yeah, he's still got to make a choice. Fortune Arcana. Deciding your fate. Wait a minute, wait, what are you doing? Are you just... I don't think that's a good idea. I really don't think that's a good idea. So, this is the one that matters. You have to try to stop him here. After this, you can basically say anything. This isn't gonna... I was about to say this isn't gonna end well, but... You should get going. So yeah, saying anything here is fine. So, yeah, maybe that was a sign. And then I just noticed that there's an old man in the background there. I don't think this is going to go well for him. Suddenly, second Deus Ex Machina old person seriously ill. And yeah, this response is listed on TV Trope's funny page. Go find yourself. I don't think Gary Stu's really qualified though, but he'll try. Yes, because Gary Stu is totally an expert at first aid. Can we cheat and summon Raphael and use Meti Rahan? That could work. So, literally, what you say here doesn't actually matter either. Like I said, this is a very interesting rank. And I just realized there's one option that I have to choose here, because, well, Pokemon logic, patting people on the back instantly cures them of seasickness. Hopefully it'll work here. Nope, that was bad. That was very bad. I shouldn't be laughing here. Where's the Call Keisuke option? Where is the Call Keisuke option? I'm not sure if this is a good or a bad thing. No, he doesn't want to be moved. Okay, good. Oh, probably a good idea to let a professional handle this and not leave it up to Gary Stu. Oh, okay, so I was onto something with that. Well, you did most of it, and I think you should have your answer now. Yeah. This does seem to feel right for him. This should help, although once his dad finds out that he took his credit card, it's probably not gonna go well. Which I've been saying a lot lately for some reason, but it is true. So a pretty dramatic rank 9, actually. Like, if I was playing this totally blind, I'd probably be really terrified about giving the right responses there. I mean, then again, you know, the worst you can do in social links is just make someone hate you. You can't actually, like, kill anyone with choices in this game. Well, I mean...
Hello.
Oh, hi there, Ken. You, made the choice to not kill someone, awkward segue. I wonder if Mitsuru's status is still shown here. Now, if you're planning on going to Tartarus tonight, definitely don't yet. Oh, wow, nobody caught the cold. That's surprising. I was afraid that someone would. Okay, so let me just check. F1's 53 to 54. Doesn't look like Mitsuru's here. Okay, so Mitsuru's still gone. What do you have to say? Huh. They just keep throwing signs that Kenji should just be a doctor. Oh, wow, that's really bad, though. Cielo Mists. That's the cure. That's the miracle cure. Cielo Mist. It totally works. I'm not actually exaggerating. It really does. So I think today is... Yeah, this is another one of these days. So, more Gary Stu relationship advice. Once again, we need to encourage him. Yeah, I'm sure just seeing you is enough of a gift to her. So, once again, remember to do this. Once you get the Junpei seems a bit relieved message, you know you've done right there. And you can probably go to Tartarus now if you want, but I'm gonna hold off until the end of the week. So, what do we do tonight? Again, there's really not much we can do, so... Tomorrow we need to get the dog food. It's pretty obvious who we get it from. We do, however, need to accept... In fact, actually, don't go to Tartarus tonight, because we need to accept a phone call. Yeah, should have realized that, but we do need to accept Yukari's phone call here. I don't know if we've actually been out with her on a Sunday before. But, yes, let's accept that. Like I said, that's actually literally true, because if you forget, then the social link will reverse, as is the case for everyone. But if you're only seeing one person on Sunday, it automatically gets you to go, so you can't really forget unless you intentionally or unintentionally schedule another appointment for the same Sunday. That's what reverses it. Anyway. Okay, it's morning, which means we probably have an in-class question to do. Well, Ryoji's there this time. Oh, hey, it's Mr. Edogawa. This is, Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. For some reason, I thought that was the main phrase of Digital Devil Saga, but it's not. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that is totally appropriate for Digital Devil Saga. Well, I mean, considering that significant parts of Korean in Spirit of Justice are actually based in India, then... yeah. I didn't know that it was an influence on Gnosticism, though. Have heard of them, though. Well, yeah. And, well, that still goes on today and is actually considered very practical. Well, I mean, Garisu's already got enough bad karma for many, many, many lifetimes, so this is probably not going to affect him. The first Indian magical text. Okay, yeah, no, you didn't even mention either of those two. Oh, that was pretty cool. I do enjoy these little lessons. They're always kind of interesting. Oh, speaking of which, I just realized that he has a few more lectures on tarot that I need to show. I could probably show one of them... Okay, it depends on whether the link that we do today is particularly long or not. Oh, okay, right. We are actually maxing out a link today. Yeah, might want to not steal the thunder of that. We sadly do. I'm so sorry, Yukari. Because we're actually seeing this guy. I plan to go to the club. That line is pretty much totally unique to this point in the link, so that's kind of cool. But yes, we are actually maxing out a social link today. I still kind of like that music. Not kind of, I actually do like that one a lot. Well, we are encouraging him, so hopefully things turn out well. Well, the school's already gone through a check magnet already, so... I think that everyone will be used to this by now. I've already talked to everyone here, so really, let's just not waste any time. Let's do this. can't see this now, but I'm tapping along to the music. And this will probably be the last time we see the science room. Is Fuga gonna even have any impact on this one at all? Oh, she is actually speaking. That's interesting. Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, I have heard that, well, I mean, haven't heard about how brutal the ones in Japan are. They probably are, but the exams you need to take to get into medical courses over here, I've heard pretty brutal things about them. Yeah, no, he's not doing it because of his dad. It's all him. Well, it's definitely going to be a tough few months until the exams, but I'm sure he'll do well. He seems to be a natural at this. Yeah, and everyone seems happy with all this. And back to the rooftop again. And there's the flowers that we watered. Yeah, he's gonna be pulling all night for this. I do like that they kind of justify how you can't really see him much after you've maxed the link in this case. So, as always, the max social link item, which here is an award letter. Oh yeah, that. Okay then. I forgot that he was actually a year below. Alright, but I actually forget that if Fuga is as well. Not exactly sure what year she was in. I know that she's not in that class, but I think she's a year below. Yeah. Not really. Oh, that's exactly what the response said. So yeah, this is the whole point of his development. And fitting into the Fortune Arcana. He's choosing his own fate, not letting it be decided for him. Well, that is actually a pretty good ally to have. It'd be actually kind of cool if, although it probably wouldn't work because he wouldn't really be able to operate during the Dark Hour at all because he would be transmogs, but I thought that it would be, because, you know, in Persona 5, every, what they're called, I forget what they call it, collaborators or conspirators? Confidants, that's it. So every confidant, that game's version of social links, has like a special ability that it gives you. It'd be kind of cool if there was like a doctor who had the ability to just save you from like a game over. It would be kind of interesting. But let's not talk about that kind of thing, and let's talk about the persona that we can now create now that the Fortune social link is maxed. Norn, the Sisters of Fate. The Sisters of Fate. Wait, not those Sisters of Fate. Let me start again. In Norse mythology, Norns are beings that rule over the destinies of gods and men. They're roughly the equivalent of the three fates from Greek mythology. Only, there are much more of them. The term Norn doesn't refer to any single entity, but just a general group. Norns are said to appear before people at a person's birth to determine the child's future, and there are said to be both good and malevolent Norns. Three of them are the most well known, again kind of an analogue of the three fates in Greek mythology, and they take water from the Well of Fate and pour it on the branches of the world tree Yggdrasil to keep it from rotting. In fitting with its origins, Norn in this game can only be fused in one very specific way. It's very similar to Shiva in that this is the only method to fuse it and it requires a very specific set of personas, but it's not considered a special fusion recipe like the cross or pentagon spread fusions. To fuse Norn, you need to do a triangle spread of Norn, Lachesis, and Atropos. All three are also of the Fortune Arcana, and they're the three Fate sisters from Greek mythology. This one is generally seen as one of the bigger guide-dang-it fusions in the game. It does make sense if you know the mythology behind it, but especially given the fact that if you try and fuse those three together and you haven't completed the Fortune link, you'll get nothing. It can be difficult to know that this exists unless you're intentionally looking for it. Especially seeing as pretty much nothing in the game hints you towards this, you just have to experiment with fusion to find it. So once you actually get Norn, what can you expect? Well, Norn is very much a one-trick pony persona. It really only focuses on one thing, wind damage, but it does that one thing very, very, very well. Right off the bat, Norn has Margarodine and Wind Amp, but also the ultimate wind spell in the game, Panta Ray. This is the same as Ragnarok for Fire or Thunder Rain for Elec, though it's not quite as useful as Thunder Rain because it doesn't have any kind of status effect attached to it. But it will be pretty powerful in combination with Wind Amp. I should also mention that out of the three personas that you need to fuse to get Norn, one of them has Wind Boost, and Wind Boost and Wind Amp do stack, so it is recommended that you pass down Wind Boost to Norn. I mean, Wind Magic is really the only thing Norn does, so you'd be better off having that as powerful as possible. Though Norn is one of the few personas to learn both Regenerate 3 and Invigorate 3, meaning that Norn is quite a decent persona to just equip if you're running a little low on HP or SP when exploring Tartarus. That nice turn-by-turn regeneration can really help. And like a lot of Ultimate personas, the skill that it learns last covers one of its weaknesses. In this case, it changes its Elec affinity from weakness to drain, so it drains 2 elements. That's really all there is to say. Norn is pretty much the kind of persona that you go to when you're facing something that's weak to wind. There's really nothing else better to use in that particular circumstance, but otherwise, yeah, really the only thing that it does is that. So not much else to say, so I'll just give a bit of trivia about the Panta Ray skill itself. Its name derives from the theories of a particular Greek philosopher. Yeah, weirdly enough it's Greek despite being on a Norse persona. It comes from an expression that means something along the lines of everything flows, and is usually taken to mean everything changes and nothing remains still, which is a pretty fitting name for a persona that's a personification of fate. Also, Norn actually lost the exclusive rights of this skill in the next game, where Odin actually got Panta Ray, probably to differentiate them more from Thor. They maybe decided that having 2 powerful Norse mythology-influenced Elec users was a bit too much, so they moved Thunder Rain to Thor and gave Odin specialty in wind instead, which does make a bit of sense. To make up for that, Norn was given something else unique in Persona 4. It's one of only 2 personas that naturally learn the skill Debilitate, which isn't even in this game. So that's totally irrelevant here. One more thing I should mention, so far all 3 of the ultimate elemental skills we've seen have all been on Norse mythology personas. The 4th one, the ultimate ice skill, is one that we haven't yet, and in fact it follows the pattern. It's also on a Norse mythology persona. Seeing as I'm not going to give a bio on this one, I might as well talk about it now. It's Niflheim, which is named after the Norse realm of ice. Originally, I could have sworn that Loki got this, but this must have been in another game. In this game, it's actually on Skadi, a giantess from Norse mythology and one of the pretty high-tier Empress Arcana personas. So it's the only one of the 4 that's not on an ultimate. And of course, this kind of stuff. Well, at least we're not eating any of Tanaka's diet food, because that's probably not all that good for you. a lot of things that are specifically
Accepted.
billed as dietary supplements usually have a ton of crap in them. So I'm pretty sure at this point everyone in the dorm is going to say the same stuff. Okay. Yeah. I like Gary Sue, who's trying to get all the ladies to like him just by being as openly flirtatious as possible with everyone. Huh, who else transferred to school at a weird time because of their parents? Okay, yeah, so that's the same. And let's see what's on TV. Oh, this again. Okay then. That kind of doesn't really make sense, even when translated. But, yeah, now that we've completed a social link, gonna go ahead and save. And then we've got a few more things that we can do this week before going back into Tartarus, because I want to go back in there as much as I can, at least once a week. Although we do have a lot of time to complete this block, so I'm not really sure how to pace this out, but I think we should go at least once more, because the school trip is going to be next week, and we won't actually be able to go for a little while. I just realized something. I was just thinking of any requests, and I was like, oh right, the dog food. And so we get that. Yeah, it was pretty obvious that we needed to talk to Koromaru for that item, so let's give that to Elizabeth. And that completes another request that has a deadline on it, so another one of those out of the way. And there's this one. I mean, it does at least give it 4-star difficulty, but it's still a really, really annoying one. Oh yeah, also, you want to make sure that you have money before the school trip starts. Even though the school trip isn't for a little while, I just want to point that out. I mean, it's hard not to have a lot of money at this point in the game, but just saying, if you're concerned about completing requests, you really do need to make sure that you have some. So anyway, I will see you back here in a bit. You know what? I'm going to go to the arcade tonight. I just kind of felt like it. I forget exactly what's at the arcade on Thursdays, which is kind of strange, because earlier on in the playthrough, it was really important to remember what was at the arcade every night of the week, because we needed to go there all the time. Now we pretty much don't need to anymore. Kind of a strange feeling how quickly I forget exactly what's there on each day. But I can't really give Raphael a bit of a boost this time. I don't know, I just sort of felt like it. Yes, you do have Media Rahan. I was kind of worried that I would be saying kind of a falsehood when I said we can cheat and use Media Rahan with Raphael if he didn't actually have it, but he actually does. So, what do we got here? Oh, it's Punching Bag again. Right then, let's just go ahead and do that. I think Print Club was also on Monday, so from the looks of it, every one of the stat boosters is tied to one of the stat boosters, but one of the social stat boosters.